Hi, my name is Amy Berkowitz, and welcome to the Times Herald Record crafting community. Here today I have book covers, and they're not the usual book covers that you get in the store that cost about $1 to $4, those book socks. Those are made out of polyester and spandex and not very biodegradable. These are the old-fashioned grocery store, doesn't cost you a thing, it comes with your food, covers. So I'm going to show you how to do the cover first, and then some ideas to make them extra special and so that they don't just look like brown grocery store bags. Today I have this example, maybe some little boy in school, English, and here's some ideas that you can do. You can put some Velcro on their erasers and that type of thing so that they always have their eraser for English or math or whatever. And you can also put some ribbon on these to make them look extra special for a little girl. Here we've got some paw prints and things like that. And you can make a little pocket for an extra pencil or a cute little eraser again. You've got these Velcro. So there's a whole lot of ideas to make it different. So I'm going to show you first how to do the actual grocery bag, and then we'll go into decorations and the things you'll need. First, you're just going to need the grocery bag and a scissor. And I've got one here that is completely ready to go. You'll look for the seam on the back of the bag, and that's the seam that you're going to first cut. So you go all the way down the bag. And the best part about this is if you make a mistake, you just get another bag. And you can go back to the store and get more food. That's the part I like. Oops, I got a receipt in here. That's not part of the deal. Okay. Now you're going to cut the bottom off, okay? So you're going to go in the shape of like an L. Cut the whole bottom off and just follow the lines. It's already there for you. And like I say, if you rip it, you've got Scotch tape, you've got a new bag, you're all set to go. Now you're going to cut along all these lines so it's like the box. And you get that out. Sometimes it's a little bit tough because they put an extra layer in there. They want to make them extra strong now. And see, here's the extra layer for that, so you're going to cut that off as well. You don't need it. Okay, but you're going to keep these scraps because you never know if you need to make a patch, or if you want to make a little pocket like I did here. You want to keep these just until you're done with the book. So you're going to grab a book and you're going to make sure, I've already cut this one, as you can see the bottom is off, and you're going to leave as much as you can because you don't know how big the book is until you measure it. So we're going to put it almost in the center of the paper, and you're going to make sure there's plenty of room over here on top and plenty of room on the bottom. And you're going to want to put the book so that the flap is out this way. And now this is a ripped page, so I don't really want this. So I'm just going to cut this off, and I'll move the book so that there's a perfectly cut page there. And you want to keep the advertisement inside because even though we might all love our favorite supermarket, we don't have to have it on the outside. And what you're going to do is take the pen and mark where the spine of the book is. That's the part that holds it together. You're going to mark the flap of the book, and you're going to make sure that you have 3/4 of the way the flap is over the book. and you're going to make a mark. Then you're going to look on the top and you make sure that you have enough to fold over. So you're going to make a mark on top and a mark on the bottom. Okay, so you're ready now to fold. You're going to fold this over and make sure that you're still lined up. And you'll be folding this one back. So first you're going to open the book and fold this in. And then you're going to fold this over on the other side. And you see that you've got too much over here, so you're going to start to cut this flap. And just trim it off. Now you're ready to fold the paper. So you're going to look at your guide and fold the top first. Take the line, and all this can be moved. So if you make it too wide or too narrow, you can always move it back. The measurements are just a guide for you. Try to do it as even as you can. See, I decided that it wasn't even enough, so I went and I did it over. And you see that this little lip in here, that's not going to even show, so you don't have to worry about it. And now you're going to see this line right here, so you're going to fold it over and make a crease. Now you're going to need these two lines that you made before so you can reposition the book. And you're going to lay them on top of the flaps that you've already folded. And here's where you're going to see if you have too much room, not enough room. It should be pretty close to the edge. In fact, it should be even more flush than this. But we're kind of cheating. So you're going to smooth this over, and you're going to want to bend in the flaps to the book. And now you're going to want to flip it over and bend these flaps into the book and fold this one in and over. And now you're ready. Oops, we need to trim this a bit. It's all trial and error. It takes a little while, but I find that if people make their own things, they take better care of them. And it's also a lesson in recycling. It takes about a month for a grocery store bag to recycle and completely decompose. And it takes 20 years to 1,000 years for a plastic bag to decompose. So it's always better to repurpose and to reuse. And you would tuck these flaps in where the book is. It creates like a little pocket. And you've got your grocery store bag cover. And you're all set to go. But it's kind of plain. And yes, we do have these lines up here and some of these things that we don't want shown. You can always use pencil and erase them, but you could also use some ribbon. If you have white glue, I prefer, this is tacky glue, but I do prefer Elmer's or a stick of Elmer's, especially with little kids, so it doesn't get as gloppy, and as long as the glue dries clear and not white, you can use it on ribbon. You can also, I always used to find that lockers were very dark and the lighting in school wasn't so great. So I used to use glow-in-the-dark paint, and I would paint math or English or even Amy on the side so that I could see right away whose book it was, and also, you know, that it was the right subject. You can use Velcro to attach anything that you may need for the class. Some kids have you know, extra erasers or pencils for math, and they want to keep them you know, with them at all times, just extras. They might have them in their purse or their pockets, but maybe they lose them a lot, so this is a good way to keep them. You can also get these stick-on rhinestones, which I really like, and you could just stick them on, make, you know, dot and I for English with a little rhinestone on there. All these things are replaceable and repairable, you know, so you can redo it in 6 months and get a completely different look. If you love soccer, you should use soccer ribbon, and you can paint anything you want on it, or you could just use a marker and write on it. And save the book socks for maybe your favorite subject, and so that way you don't have to have the extra expense, because parents, if you have 3 kids and they're $4 for a sock and you've got 6 subjects, you've got a nice dinner out that you could have been having instead of decorating a bunch of books with just polyester and spandex. So I hope that you've enjoyed today, and try it. Give it a shot with your math book. That's my least favorite subject, so I would just cover it and just decorate it a bit and maybe make it a happier day to go to math.